Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Akakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Yakinakwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one is not titled yet. I'm sure we'll have one, Lord willing, by the end of the lesson. But you can see what we got on screen here. It's from Reddit. And of course, this popped up in the popular. I saved it, and I got it up in a, pulled up on the main page here. So it's from a Reddit called Murdered by Words. And, basically when people get burnt, right? When somebody got flamed, all right? And it's by this lady here, this harlot, all right, Pink Pilates Princess, all right, or Kunta Kunti, all right, as she calls herself. And as you see down here, there's it's a repost by this guy, Dare Rule, okay, and it has two men hugging. I guess they adopted a daughter, okay, and they're two men, all right, a homosexual couple, as they call themselves, a couple that have adopted, all right, a daughter. And this Pink Pilates Princess, or Kunta Kinte, we can just shorten it to Kun if you'd like. A lot of y'all have zero fathers, so I understand why seeing someone have two of them may trigger y'all. All right, and what she really needs to do is she just needs to close her lips and go back to doing her own little OnlyFans thing. All right, because if you go to this page, Kunta Kunti, I can't even damn near show it, right? So, and she doesn't have an OnlyFans. She doesn't list one, but the shit she posts, I guess that's damn near almost, she's just doing the shit for free, right? And just shut your mouth, all right, and don't speak, all right, because when you speak, it just doesn't come out right? It's foolish. Matter of fact, I'm gonna skip to that. It's Proverbs 9:13. It says, "A foolish woman is clamorous; she is simple and knoweth nothing." Okay. So let's go ahead and break this down. A foolish woman is clamorous, and she is foolish. All right, she's stupid. She's basically, not condemning. The opposite of that, affirming this behavior. Okay, she's affirming this behavior, and just going off of her page, she seems to be a hypersexual, nymphomaniac. All right. Anyway, all right, overly sexualized, and like touching on herself and stuff. And, these type of people are all, one and the same mind, right? They're all the sexual deviancy, all right? Not that you can't touch yourself, just that, doing it online and all this stuff, being hypersexualized, and that's what she does. If you go to her page, it's just all, not necessarily doing that to herself, but you could tell in some of those photos she must have been doing something, because she half naked and all these different things, and one and the same mind, that sexual deviancy spirit, where you want to go and post and show off online and show pictures of yourself, and same thing, same spirit, just a little bit different, all right, with the homosexual connotation on these people. They're hypersexualized. That's all these people think about is sex. If you've ever had the unfortunate adventure of having to work with one of these people, that's all they talk about, right, is just being moes and mo encounters and other moes, and all their friends are moes, and the people that they talk to are moes, all right, and that's just how it goes. So these people are one and the same mind of that not, these people have a little bit different with the homosexual demon, but the sexual deviancy demon is one and the same. That's usually what ends up pulling you into this homosexuality as well, just sexual deviancy, right? So this is something that is not, all right, permissible by Yahweh Shai Shai, being a mo, all right, and it's sick, and it's crazy, because if you were to see these two people separate outside, I don't know if I would have been able to tell. Open image in new tab. I don't know if I'd be able to have tell that these people were mo's. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. Let me see. No, just Yeah, I can't get a good zoom in, but I don't know. This guy looks a little goofy. This guy looks the fruitiest, but I'm guessing he's probably the female, more than likely, because this guy's standing up and doing all this. This guy looks a little bit more fruitier in the face, but I don't know, man. It's the whole situation's all fucked up. All right, Jake is all out of their mind. So this is we haven't even got really even started because we got more to go through. But this is Isaiah 3 and 9. I want to get one rolling. It says, "The show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves." And that's what they've done. You know, they've declared their sin as Sodom. Okay, they're sodomites. Okay, and that's the same type of situation that was going on in Sodom, hence the name. And Yahweh destroyed it, right? Mostly because it was rampant sin. Yeah, it was rampant sin, but what was the number one sin that was happening there? Well, it was just sin. No, what was the number one sin? What was the most prominent sin that was happening? It was homosexuality. All right, it was homosexuality. And, you know, they even, you know, because they wanted to have, sexual relationships with the men and the angels, and Lot had to say, you know, I got daughters, just take them. No, what did they say? Bring out there was a not that part, but that's the angels telling. No, it was yeah, there it was. You know, these fucking agates, all right? Agates, all right, put an F on that. Genesis 19 and 4, "But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they came unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came in thee this night? Bring them out to us, that we may know them. And Lot went at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly." Don't stop it. He says, "Look, behold now, I have 2 daughters which have not known man." They're virgins, right? "Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof." So, you know, they wanted to get down, right? Where are those fine men at? You should bring them out to us so we can know them. All right. And disgusting. All right. And you're in that same spirit, that sodomite spirit, right? And you declare you love it. That's something that you're all for, right? So, where are we? Yeah, man, let's continue on to the next one. This guy, Jay Multani, says, "Which one of them gave birth, though?" And she comes back and says, "You came out of your mother's womb ass first, and you still grew up to be a bitch-ass loser, so does it really matter?" Right? That's what she says. So she's all for condemning it. And a scripture for that is what's the scripture? It's well, we can always get Mm, mm, mm. Right here, right here. All right. Proverbs 17 and 15. So even if she's not a homosexual, which she might be, all right, she might be. I can't necessarily tell based off of her page. She seems to be a sexual deviant, so more than likely she probably has at least done stuff like that or is like that. But Proverbs 17 and 15 says, "He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord." So guess what? Even if she isn't a mo, all right, she's condemning, all right, she's not condemning necessarily the just, but she's justifying the wicked. Okay, she's justifying the wicked, saying what they're doing is fine, you know, and it's not, So that's why, you know, these women, man, you really just need to, these worldly women just need to zip it. All right, you can stay there. I mean, you're fine looking, you know, you're good looking. It's just you need to shut up, right? Because that's the thing, man. You can't, and that's the other thing with these women of the world, these worldly women. That's about all they're good for, right? Because they don't know anything about the truth. They can't be your wife either, right? They can't be that. You can't turn that into a wife. And then you even have some worldly women have some right ideas when it comes to, but I guarantee this lady has something else. She's probably all with the Jesus juice. This is Angelique. Says, no, we don't want to see men being gay and raising kids. What the fuck? Some of us want normalcy and kids to be raised right. Now, I bet she is probably a Christian. All right, she's probably one of them. So, you know, you have two sides of the same coin, man. Being out in the world, it's the same. You're still out in the world, all right? You're really not even that much better, all right? You have the right idea on something, but a broken clock is right twice a day, all right? So it says, and then Pink Pilates came back and said, you can't be raising your kids right if you're feeding them hospital cafeteria food. Oh my God, they probably hate you. And, you know, critiquing the food. So she's just going in on everybody because she's mad. And then this guy Daniel says, wait until they sexually abuse that child. And she comes back and says, I can tell from your profile picture that you are a product of some severe inbreeding, so I'm not going to even give this dumbass comment the time of day because you obviously were born stupid. Well, you gave it the time of day to respond back, so how does that work? And then this guy says, nothing about this is okay. And she says, looking like this really isn't okay, but you don't see me talking about it. Well, you are, though. You are talking about it. And you see all these likes that she's getting. Tons, 24.5. That's basically 25,000 people liked it. All right, 25,000 people like that. 40,000 people like this one. How many people like this one? It doesn't show, but the original post had 70,000 likes. All right, so look, man, that's a lot of combined likes. All right, that is a lot of combined likes. And then the last comment said, "You going against God, bitch? You going straight to hell?" And there ain't no hell. And she says, does that mean you're going to hell for being ugly? I thought God didn't like that either. So she's, you know, she's one of them. All right, she's one of them. Just an N-dub. All right, more than likely. Just an N-dub that just a sexual deviant N-dub. All right, and that's all you are. All right, you should just go back to that instead of trying to be, you know, instead of trying to virtue signal. Just go and be a hoe. All right, that's what you are. All right, that's what you're gonna be. And you know, leave the conversation to people that can actually speak intelligibly, and on top of that, being able to speak without being filled with emotion. All right, because that's all it is. It's just being filled with emotion. It's not fact. It's not a factual argument. It's just feeling. You feel like this is okay, and it's not okay. All right, it's not okay, and you're just the same as them. All right, you're the same people. Okay. This is speaking about when we speak, and you know people don't like to hear it, but I'll just get, you know, you can read up and down to talk about that. But 1 John 4 and 5 pretty much exemplifies what we're talking about. What I was mentioning during that says they are of the 1 John 4 and 5. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. And it's true, all right? They speak of the world and the world hears them. Look at all the likes, all right? You see all the tons of likes, all right? And the impressions that are being made through. So damn near over a million between all of the page, all of them, at least the impressions, all right, the views. So, and then the likes that's an absorbent amount, right? And that's just, you know, that's what happens, all right? What's the scripture? Foolish. Yeah. So I mean, of course, going back to Proverbs 9 and 13, we have a foolish woman is clamorous; she is simple and knoweth nothing. But there's another scripture that I wanted to get that's on a similar vein. I'm not sure what it is. There's another. You know, you can get even a fool when he holdeth his peace is counted as wise. You can get that. This person doesn't look wise even if they held their peace, because you can see their titties popping out their shirt and all that. So they're definitely not wise. All right, just a harlot. All right, and speaking of harlot, this is Deuteronomy. How long have I been going for? 16 minutes. I'll probably have to grab some extra stuff. It might be a shorter one, but I'd like to get it to at least 20 minutes. But Deuteronomy 23 and 17 reads, there shall be... Slakia. Brother posted a video, GMS All Pre-Subs, Ku Klux Keisha. Damn. But Deuteronomy 23 and 17, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. And well, what do we have here? Like a moth to a fucking flame. We got let's go back. We got, what do we got here? A whore of the daughter of Israel. What? And a sodomite of the sons of Israel. All right, so, multiple sodomites, 2 of them. And that girl is going to be, you know, she's not going to grow up. But I mean, if she did grow up, and why is she not going to grow up? Because the end is right here, man. We're right there. It's only a matter of time, only a small matter of time before Jacob's trouble pops off and we're out. All right, so she's not going to get to grow up to be an adult. But if she did, all right, she would be severely fucked up in the head. All right, severely fucked up in the head. She'd probably be a sexual deviant as well. All right, because she's raised around that. And you say, well, you talk about a little girl. That's a little weird. I'm not. It's nothing about her being a little girl. I'm just saying it's the fact of the matter. I've seen it happen, right? I've seen it happen with my own little cousin. And I never thought anything like that about her, right? But the fact of the matter was that, like I said, at one point I was living with my so-called aunt, all right, as I've told that story a bunch of times. Her, all right, and 2 of my that cousin, my little cousin, I think at the time she was like 10 or 11, and then like my other cousin that was like 27, another one was like 24, roughly, and then me at the time, I can't remember where I was, but when I first moved in, I was 21, but they're a couple years. The older cousin, older male cousin is significantly older than me. I think he's like 35 or something. I don't know. Significantly older than me. All right, and then my younger cousin. All right, not the little cousin, but the younger cousin's like 2 or 3 years older than me, and then the little cousin's way significantly younger than me. And so her mom and the older female cousin, all right, are well, okay. The older female cousin, she's just a mo, all right. She's on to that polyamory stuff. She dates women and men, but she mostly likes women. But she gets with men for the sexual part of the matter. And then she had a friend that moved in later. That, like I said, I was living with one of those guys that calls himself non-binary. He was a man. It was a man. All right. He moved in because he needed a place to live, and I was there, and he ended up living downstairs, so I was upstairs. But and then, you know, the mom was also down with like being bisexual. All right, she was down with some of the stuff. Now, the 2 people that weren't in the house were me and the older male cousin. Right? Everybody else was a mo. The guy downstairs, he was a non-binary, but he was a mo. All right. Anyway, because he had a boyfriend that would come over. All right, and all that different type of shit. And thankfully, I was upstairs. I didn't even fuck around downstairs, but that was all downstairs. The Mo territory was mostly downstairs, except the mom was upstairs as well. But what I'm telling you all this so you can get the full story is that the little cousin never really exhibited any signs of being a Mo or anything like that. but she was around it constantly, right? Around it constantly as she was growing up, all right? Around it constantly, you know, because her older sister was, all right? Her mom was. Now, her old sister was the biggest progenitor of that because she would, you know, preach it, right? And be like, oh, well, this and that, and it's okay for this and that, and it's this and that. And, yeah, man, and growing up, she's not, you know, a lesbian, but she's bisexual now. She's like 17, about to be 18 this year. And she's bisexual and has she, her in her fucking thing. At one point, they were going, I think, by she, they, or they, she, or something, you know, confused. And that's what happens. It's not about sexualizing a child. That's not what it ever is. Because every time you call out, oh, she's going to be a hoe or a sexual deviant when she grows over, they say, oh, you're sexualizing a child. It's not sexualizing a child. I don't want that to happen. I would personally prefer if that did not happen, as a matter of fact. The fact of the matter is when you're around a situation like this, all right, that's what ends up happening. All right, it's the same situation if you had a family that's watching porn on a TV screen, all right, and one of the gay dudes that I knew said that, well, he said, my family used to watch porn in the living room while I was a little kid walking around, and he's a homosexual, all right? And he even said, I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I said, I don't know, maybe. Because it's one of those situations, man, where it fucks up the development of a kid. It's not a natural situation. It's not a natural situation. And you already have two sexual deviants for parents, okay? And those spirits flow, man. They fly throughout the house. So when you have two sexual deviant parents, that spirit is going to get on you, man. All right? Regardless if you're a little girl or not. Of course, you're not going to be doing stuff like that when you're a little girl. But if you grow up like that, you're going to grow up with the mindset that is okay to do. All right? That being a sexual deviant is okay. Right? They're probably going to, you know, and you know how these Democratic mo's are. They're going to, you know, express sexual liberty and sexual freedom and not body shaming and all this stuff. And she'd probably be dressing all fucking... Probably be dressing like this. This is probably what grows up from that. You know? And that's not something that you want, all right? You know, we don't need to be making more hoes out in the world, but that's what this type of stuff does. It fucks people up in the mind, okay? It fucks people up in the mind, and people don't want to realize that because it sounds, oh, bigoted and hateful. It is bigoted. It is hateful, okay? You shouldn't be doing it, okay? You should not be doing it. It's wickedness. So this is Leviticus 20 and 13. It says, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Biblically, these people will be put to death. All right, they would be put to death, and it was a good thing that they be put to death because it was set for an example as well. All right, and there's also another scripture that talks about plagues, and it mentions plagues and these sorts of things are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. All right, here. 2nd Esdras 16 and 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So that's talking about, you know, the things that happen in the world being sent as a scourges, a whip for amendment. Amendment is changing of the ways. So these things, you know, famine, plague, and tribulation are sent, so people see them and say, oh shit, we're being wicked and change our ways. But like it says in verse 20, they're not going to turn from their wickedness, all right, or be mindful of the scourges. And that's kind of a similar situation what happens with people, you know, being stoned. It's sent as, you know, it's a scourge for amendment. You know, you see these people be put in death and you say, oh shit, I'm not going to be like that anymore because I don't want that to happen to me. And you say, oh, that's just conditioning, all right? That's just suppressing someone. Well, there's certain things you should not do, all right? You know not to kill. Why should you not kill? Well, because it ends someone's life. Well, why is that so bad? They go back to the spiritual realm. Why is it so bad? Because it hurts them. Well, why is that so bad, right? Why is it so bad? Well, you shouldn't do it. What about cheating on someone? It hurts their feeling. Well, why does it hurt their feeling? Why does it make them feel that way? All right. Why does it make them feel that way? For why does it upset a man if his woman goes and leaves? Why is it? Because these are all biblical things. All right. But you want to pick and choose. You say, okay, murder and adultery is bad. We shouldn't do that. But homosexuality is fine. No, you can't pick and choose. All right. They're either all bad or none of them are bad. But that's what they do. They pick and choose and what their moral compass is. Meanwhile, not understanding that these morals come from the Bible. You say, oh, what, you have to have the Bible to know you shouldn't kill? Yes, that's where it originally came from. All right? Yes. Even back before the world, really understanding this truth, we knew not to kill. But where did that ideology come from? Not to kill. It came from the Bible originally because people before didn't have any cares about it. All right? They had no cares. So, and the only thing that keeps people from killing these days is two things: the fear of burning in hell, all right, which doesn't exist, the fear of burning in hell and in prison time, right? It's the only thing that keeps people from killing people, right? The fear of burning in hell, in prison. That's it. That is it. So, man, these people are just, they're gone. They're lost, man. They're lost. And there's nothing you can really do or say to convince them. I just felt like, I wanted to just do a lesson on it. All right, for the sake, Lex sake. So edification. All right, just refresher. And just to let the situation be known. All right, how the situation is. And it's always the end of working alongside with some mad fucking wickedness, right? But that's pretty much it. What do I got in? Like 30 minutes? 26 minutes. Close enough. But yeah, man, it's not a situation that should be happening, but it does happen. All right, and here it is. Keisha. The brother said Keisha. All right, and Satan always hand in hand, man. Oh, and the devil. They love working with the white man. They love working with the spiritual demon Satan and allowing wickedness. All right, and handing out licenses to sin. All right, oh, it's okay. They're okay. You can't. Only God can judge them. You don't judge them. All right, whatever, kunta cunty. All right, you keep on going ahead, and Jake was never like this. This was, and that's again goes. I got one more. Jake was never like this. This was never one of our customs, all right? Homosexuality comes from these nations. That's what they liked it the most, all right? And then Jake started doing it, all right? So Jeremiah 10:2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So there you go. This was never one of our customs. The Lord had a very specific covenant that was set up with us. He taught us what to do, what not to do, how to act, how not to act. Jake started going around the heathen. They started saying, oh, we want to do this instead, right? When the Lord said, do not be like these people, all right? Don't learn these people's ways. Don't be like them. Stay away from them, all right? I sent you here to be in their land, all right? I literally gave you victory over these people. Don't be like them. And Jake started being like the people that they won victory over. That's the dumbest thing. That's like a boxer, all right, knocking out someone first punch and be like, man, I want to be more like him. What? Why? He just got knocked the fuck out. You don't want to be anything like him. Obviously, whatever he's being like is not working out, right? So, but Jake's fucking stupid. All right, they're stupid. And do I want to get one more? Yeah, I'll get two more. This is Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. Sottish means stupid, resembling a sot, a drunkard. Or also means idiot, idiotic, doltish, dumb, stupid. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. So that's the state, man. And Jake don't even know who their master is. All right, even the ox is master. This is Isaiah 1:3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. There you go. Sinful nation, people laden with iniquity. Iniquity is sin stacked on sin. A seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. There you go. And you can continue on with that if you'd like, but that's what we got for today. But yeah, man, that just whole head's fucked up. Jake's just gone. They're lost. They don't know who they are. They don't know who their owner is. They don't know anything, man. Just wickedness. All right, and that's all stuff that they've learned from these Edomites and the heathens of the world. So, hey, man, you want to be like them? You know that saying, you want to act like a dog, you can sleep with dogs, lay down, sleep with the dogs, end up with fleas. What is it? Lay down with dogs and wake up with fleas. Okay? Associate with undesirable, untrustworthy people can lead to negative consequences, all right? But, doing wrong things, hey, when you have to pay the piper, you're not going to like it. So that's a lesson, all right? Lord willing, that was it. Probably hit the 30-minute mark by now. Yep, so that's good. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Don't be down with this stuff, man. This is a clown-ass system with clown-ass people. There's two clowns that are going to fuck up a daughter that doesn't even know what's going on. So we're going to close out with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.